Well, I'm out of my comfort zone with this one. Battery exhausted, she says. I'm fucking exhausted. Right, welcome back everyone. My name's Paul, this is Milehouse Studios. There's some signs, I swear a bit, don't be offended, and if you are offended, it'll just amuse me even more. This is another subscriber donation and I'm out of my comfort zone. I am out of my comfort zone. It's a Charvelle, it's a Charvette, which I don't know anything about. As a lot of you may or may not know, I do these Monday fluff pieces, A, because I get to work on these guitars, I get to know them, I get to increase my own knowledge and skills, which is always very valuable. I didn't realise how valuable that was until I started doing it. And I'm very grateful I did. Monday fluff pieces go out on a Monday, you're watching it on a Monday normally, and I do them on a Monday because it's a relaxing start to the week. And normally it's an easy way of getting videos out when I need to and just squeezing them in. It doesn't take a lot of my time. This thing's been at the back of the pile for a long time. Kevin, who donated this, I think in the comments he's the Kev lad. You've seen him in the comments over and over. He sent this in fucking months ago. Sorry, mate. And it's a bit terrifying. Do you want to have a little look? Oh! She's an angry little bastard, and there's a few reasons I've been putting it off. Reason number one, she's very grimy, minging, very tarnished. She's been sat away. I don't know if it works. We'll have a little look and I'll plug it in. The setup, believe it or not, at the minute is pretty good. This guitar, if anything, is very fucking stable because the action and everything looks nice. The frets are absolutely disgusting. Honestly disgusting. Kev, I'm going to be washing my hands before I eat my sandwiches. But I might not. I'm definitely not going to be picking my nose. So we've got a lock-in nut, which really, apart from setting up Jojo Fry's guitar a long time ago, don't really know much about these. If you know much about these, let me know. I haven't done a lot of homework. I'm just learning on the job. There's nothing wrong with that. You can learn with me. You can watch and cringe and think, why is this twat online? Well, because I bought a camera and I'm stupid enough to have a crack. So I'm going to plug her in quickly and I'm just going to make sure it works. Just have a little look. And then, unusually, I'm going to take the plates off the back and we're going to check out the pots first. She's in. I don't care if it's in tune. Don't care about that. I don't care what sound's coming out of this little mini mung bean. Everything works. Pot's not scratchy. Quality gear. I don't know how long this has been in the basement. Probably longer than some of Fred and Rose's victims. For all that monstrosity on top, making it look like it's fucking complicated, inside it's just a trem, innit? So underneath we've got nothing to worry about there. And the simplest little wiring setup I've ever seen. There's nothing much going on, is there? Piece of cake. So ordinarily with this sort of trem, I know from previous experience of one guitar and from lots of comments from you lovely people, you should just change one string at a time. I haven't got that option because this thing needs a really good clean. I want to take this trem out. I want to give it a good spray up with WD-40. I want to soak everything in WD, all of this, give it a wire brush off and just make sure we can get it lovely and lubed. Lovely and lubed, which really, there's no better way to be, is there? So let's snip some strings. Kev has sent me a proper rusty nubbin. Lovely, Kev. Thank you, mate. I think a lot of that's going to come off. How'd you get a guitar so fucking rusty, mate? What's wrong with your fingers? What's going on here? There's no appreciable fret wear, massive sausages. But this must be the early iteration of the sausage period. One of the first. Right, so I seem to remember you need a block of wood under there so you can get to things. Luckily, I've got lots of wood. Now, the fact that this sort of tremolo is not on every guitar, because it is an overcomplicated bit of kit, and it's a pain in the ass changing strings on the fly, and if it wasn't, it'd be on all of them, wouldn't it? Is the increased stability worth it? Over a normal 2-point tremolo? I do prefer a 2-point trem myself. I don't know. I don't really know enough about it. And out she comes. You just lock a string in with this long bad boy, and then you can fine tune with that one. If this is your thing, this is your thing. It's not my fucking thing, I'll tell you that. Anyway, I'll give that a spray up and lube it up and give it a clean. It's not actually in bad nick. It's just absolutely disgusting, Kev. The smell test is a mixture of old people's homes and pancake mix. And we all know what smells like pancake mix. Don't ask me how I know, all right? Let's not go there. So we've got to start by giving her a clean, because honestly, it's either that or I've got to put myself in for a fucking tetanus. I'm using some more gear from Strings and Things. We've got vintage fretboard conditioning oil, which is lovely. So no lemons in that, it's clear, so you can all stop shitting your pants. And we've got this red stuff here, look, Finger Blast from Axe Wax. Brilliant marketing, boys, I'm loving that. And this stuff is absolutely the best cleaning gear ever. I used to use window cleaner. Not anymore, I just peer through windows now. So thank you to the chaps at Strings and Things for my cheeky freebie. I do love a freebie. So we've got a basic maple neck, scarf joint, angled headstock, funky pointy stuff. That's about as factual as it's going to get. The neck is very skinny. The first fret's 19mm, which I've had thinner. 21 at the 12th, which your standard Fender is just a little bit smaller than that at the first. So it's yeah, it's a very skinny flat neck, super stable though. I don't know much about the construction, don't care about the construction. I just want to see what it plays like when we've cleaned it up and got it all lovely. One-way truss rod, if I'm not mistaken, which is a bit shit, but it's an early guitar. I'm just going to touch up the frets. Touchy. With a tiny bit. I've got to scrape this fretboard. Kev's left enough fucking cheese on here. There's more cheese on this fretboard than there is on the average Five Guys fucking burger. So I've got to scrape that with a Stanley knife. Thanks, Kev. Thanks, mate. I feel like I know you intimately now. It's going to need a proper scrape. So that being said, I'm just going to go at the frets with a super fine bit of sandpaper. I think this might be 800, but I don't have to worry about too much about the fretboard. And I'm just going to go over the tops because I'm curious. Just a couple of spots of wear there. So Kev, you're a cowboy chord wanderer. Who the fuck buys this and sits at home strumming Kumbaya? You dirty fiend. You haven't played enough hymns to wear the sausages out, so we're fine. It doesn't need a fret job. I am curious. I'm going to go and do a little bit of homework and find out a little bit more about this because I feel like I'm being a bit stupid and I'm not doing it a good enough service. I'm going to find out the year and I'm interested to see the quality of the fretwork for the year and where it's manufactured. So I'm going to scrape this fretboard off and you've all seen how I'm going to do it. It's a Stanley blade, very carefully. And we are literally just keeping it with the grain. And you can see the cheese coming off that, look. It's rank, all right? I'm going to do that all the way up. And then I'm going to take you through the Fretalyzer system. There is an affiliate link below to Fretalyzer. I've now got an affiliate link. So you can help my channel out by buying your system. I'll go into it in a minute. It's a bit of a sales pitch. Of course it is. Fucking YouTube. This is QVC for idiots. Wanker! That's you. Look, I'm looking at you, by the way. I'm going to scrape it. I'm going to Fretalyze it. I'm going to come back in a minute. I'm going to go and have a bit of lunch because it's 11:59 and I'm starting to get hungry. I'll see you in a minute when I've got a bit more knowledge upstairs. Very YouTuber. Hi. Quinn. Right, so now I've got the body taped up. We've got the frets ready to go. I've got my fret end dress file, right? I've got some sharp fret ends. These frets are sausages and they've got not a lot of bevel. Some Fenders you'll see have got a huge bevel on them. These haven't. You're always going to feel them more, even when you're playing, even if they're smooth. They're in the way, aren't they? They're like speed bumps, but you can address it. First thing I'm going to do, have I got any fret sprout? I'm going to use my fret end dressing file. Use a reputable one. And I'm just going to make sure, and actually, these are pretty good. There's no real fret sprout on there. So I'm going to whip up and down, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to curve. And I'm basically getting this edge, half of it. I'm going to do 4 passes on each fret. And I'm going to feel it as I go. Right, I've gone up and down, marked improvement. Out comes the 400 grit. I'm going to wrap it around my finger, double it up, wrap it around my finger, and I'm just going to get on the edges. I'm going to take a bit of the fretboard and give it a bit of a roll. So we're going to get the ends of the frets and the fretboard. You can go straight up and down, you can do circles, treat it like a bean. Sometimes you have to adapt your technique. So I'm allowing the frets to manipulate it as I go. Once you've done that and it's all feeling a lot nicer, out comes the 800 grit and we can start giving it a bit of a polish. You'll start seeing a bit of a shine on the ends of these. They'll be in better nick than they've ever been. If your guitar could talk, she'd call you a prick. No, she wouldn't. She'd say thanks for giving me a bit of a touch up. Thank you. This is basically a I can't remember the grit of this. I think these are about 1,000. These are from Halfords in the UK. You can get them from your automotive supplier. Very soft, hardly anything. You couldn't shave a fucking woodlouse with that. But it just takes the monk off and any little marks. Right, now to be fair, you could stop at that point. You absolutely could stop at that point, but we're not. We're going to fretilise because we're fucking lovely. Out comes the Fretilizer, link below. That's all I'm going to say. Amazing bit of kit. Best thing I've discovered since I started the channel. Brilliant. I used to use a Dremel and polish and rubbers and all sorts of wank. This is fucking brilliant. And it's super cheap. Thank me later in the comments. Make sure you use your protector. On it goes. These are fat boys. And then we're just literally rubbing it. You can rock over the ends and just get that top edge. Now we're starting at 1500 grit. You're only polishing. You're not really sanding. So don't panic. You've knocked your frets down level already. As you start getting a bit of a build up on there, you can move this around. New bit of paper. Right, they're already better than your frets have ever been. Piece of piss, right? It's so easy. Just make sure you use that, because if you start scuffing your fretboard up, you piss yourself right off. Ask me how I know. Now I'm gonna keep going back up now. We've got 15, 2, 4, 8,000, 4,000, go all the way up to 8,000. We're gonna have some mirrors. And the shape at the end of that is gonna give them a little bit of a cheeky roundy bit, roundy inny outy bit, whatever, waffling. I'll see you after I've polished them. You don't need to watch that. And then we're going to fucking restring this thing and set it up, because that's going to be the biggest ball ache, because I haven't got a fucking clue what I'm doing. Welcome to the shit show. Just a quick interjection, if that's a word, to remind everyone that the raffle is still live for this one. It is my 1981 Gibson Heritage birth year fucking beautiful guitar. The link to the video to this one is at the end of this one, so feel free to watch it, because YouTube thinks I'm amazing if you go on and watch the second video. Link to the raffle is also below. Beautiful guitar. It's about £3 worth, £2.50 a ticket. Only 6,000 tickets available. I've limited it. 50% of that is going to Man Down UK, men's mental health charity. Amazing. Woo! Anyway, back to the video. Just so you can see what I'm up to, I've poured some naphtha. It's getting very expensive. That's in a little pot, and I'm just swirling it around and getting it all in and just cleaning out this bridge. Right, everything. It's a great little thing to use because it'll just evaporate, and I'll spray a bit of lubricant on after. Anyway, shall we continue? Okay, we're at the interesting bit now. Look, I've oiled my fretboard. I've used a bit of the, what did I use? What the fuck did I use? I've used vintage fretboard oil, conditioning oil. I've cleaned the body again. I'll probably do it again. Kev, 3 cleans. It's taken 3 cleans. And I've used some finger blast, which is amazing. We're gonna string up this Charvelle licensed Floyd Rose, which should be a pain in the ass. The second one I've ever touched. Oh, what kind of a luthier is he if he's never done many of them? Well, fucking a newbie. I'm a fucking newbie, mate. From what I know, you've got to be careful that the little pieces don't fall out when you take the strings out of these, because I've already had to look around on the floor for the ones that did fall out. There's the first bit of honesty for you. I've unwound these stops all the way to the top, and luckily they lock in place. We're undoing all of these. I'm going to string it up, get it as tight as I can, and then I'm going to tune it conventionally with the posts. I'm going to check how much float I've got on the trem and set everything up. When everything is set up and we're happy, then we lock down the locking bridge. I think that's the order. I could be wrong. I could be making myself look a bit stupid, but that wouldn't be a first, would it? Ask Mrs. Richards, she loves it. You've got to cut your balls off. This has had a good spray of GT85 for like all the inner gubbins. I've wiped it off the outside, but I've lubed up the innards just a little bit, just to give her a little bit of sustenance. Now, obviously, when I took this apart, everything was set up still quite nicely, despite the fact that Kev had been spaffing on it for years and not really giving it any love. It was fine. So when I set this up and get it under tension, we should be within the ballpark. Wishful thinking, I know. I'm keeping my balls because someone suggested using them as an inlay, and I liked that idea. Keep your suggestions coming, ball bags. While I'm doing this, do you want to have a look at the toenail of the week? It's a new segment. I haven't done a little intro bit of music yet. Check out this comment. What an absolute fucking cumtard. Right, now that's done, we've strung her up. Should be able to take it my little bit of ply because there was no tension under that. We've got a little bit more float than we had before. So I'm going to tune it up. I'm literally making this up as I go along. The glory about doing this bit like this is that you can just keep going and going and going. Right, that is lifting that one way too much. So I'm going to put a little bit more tension on this because you can see that those screws are all the way out there. There's hardly anything on it. So we're going to tighten her up. Mind your earth. That's pulled her down a bit. Now a little tip that someone told me when you're tuning these up, when you're tuning them up, if you tune to pitch every time, when you come back to your low E, it will then be low again because you've pulled your bridge up all the way through. So tune these two half a step sharp first. And then when you tune these, the top two will be brought back down to close to the tune. Otherwise you keep chasing yourself and you just keep pulling your bridge up. So over tune your top two. So I'm going to tune them basically to E sharp and A sharp. I've got a little bit too much tension now. One thing I don't know is the gauge of the strings that I took off. I'm just trying to get it so that when I'm in tune, my bridge is floating level, not up or down. Once you've got it set up to your gauge of strings and it's something that you're going to repeat, again, you're changing one string at a time. You don't have to go through this rigmarole. Right, I'm in tune there. Action is looking devilishly low, like piss-takingly low. And I've got a lot of relief on my neck. So again, bit by bit, I'm just going to straighten her up. Right, just for comedy's sake, I don't know how I'm going to edit this because it's so much back and forth. But just for comedy's sake, I've got 0.9, 1.4. So I'm just going to wind up this top one. I love a 2-point trem for adjusting action. I just think it's lovely. 1.55. Right, I'm in tune. I'm pretty flat on there. We're looking pretty good. I'm going to give the strings a stretch now and fuck it all up again. And then just run through it quickly. I'll see you when I've done that. Pretty good. Right, final check of the action. 1.45. 1.3. This sort of guitar likes to be a little bit low, doesn't it? It does. But to walk to work today, I do love walking to the workshop. It's about 4 kilometers. Lovely little walk. But it's that time of year where you've got to walk past those spunk plants. It's one of these. Spunk plant. So there's an interesting fact for you. Makes Mrs. Richards gag every time. And we don't even have to be near a plant. I'm going to loosely put my locking nuts back on. Now, one thing that Kev has not supplied me is a waggle stick. So I've got to try and find one. I'm going to take this down and plug it in and see if I can get a demo out of it. It looks lovely. I'm chuffed. It hasn't been as much of a pain in the ass as I thought it would be. And it's very cool looking. I'm going to take this one home for a little while as well. Just have a little play My missus will fucking hate that in the living room. Definitely. It's like Spider-Man's wank cloth, innit? Lovely. I'll see you downstairs in Fritzels, everyone. Hold your breath. Joe's starting to get a bit smelly. It's conclusion time. Little bit of a surprise, that one. I know I'm always surprised and always end up loving them. I didn't know anything about it. This is the guitar. This is the opposite of what I would normally gravitate to. If I see these in the shop, it's just not me, all right? It's just not. However, playing it downstairs really surprised me. It's nice. The trem was fine. I've got to find a waggle stick on eBay. I'll put that on. These are 500 quid. I'm going to put this one on for 400. Whether it's Japanese or Korean or whatever, I don't know. Really interesting little guitar. It's got some signs of age. Of course it has. It's fucking ancient. If this is 1989, it's almost as old as me, believe it or not. Oh, long paper round, Paul, was it? Wankers. 7.9 lubs. It's very, very light. 7.9 lubs. Got some signs of spaff and age. The frets were really good. The neck's wonderful. Really surprised by that. Big old sausages. All looking lovely. Plays beautifully. The action is low. Obviously, this has all been just set up with the Floyd Rose. When you get this, you're going to have to tune it and give it a bit of love and a tinker. So please don't shit your pants. Comes in a lovely purpose-made case, which I believe was an optional extra. So it's got the full package. The full montage. So take what you want from that. Personally, I couldn't give a flying fuck. The only negative I've read online is about the pickups on these. And I can kind of see why some people like them and some people don't. They're very mid-rangey. There you go. Chocolatey mids, if you want me to talk proper bollocks. Perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable. I wouldn't change anything out. They look very sweet. This is a proper little bit of vintage. Very surprised, very surprised. Spider-Man's pants. There you go, everyone. That's all I'm going to say. Let's all have a special wave, because I know you've come to expect it. And sometimes you get a little bit sad if I forget. I'll see you next week. All right, remember, be nice to everyone. Don't be a prick.